Hello everyone, this is Shreyansh Prakash, and in this session, we will be going over one of the front-end related questions. Okay, so we will just cover point number 8 in this session. So just to set the context here, uh, considering that we have a React-based application which has pagination implemented, on top of that, this is additional feature that we have to apply on it. Okay, so pagination, just to give a brief, hopefully you guys already know. So say if you have a lot of records, thousands of records, say you have a movie website. Okay, instead of showing all the records at a time, we show say 10 or 20 records. Okay, and then you'll have buttons at the bottom. Okay, using which you can go and see the next 10 or next 20 records. Okay, so that is a basic pagination. Okay, on top of that, this is what we're going to discuss in this session. So it says that we're going to after applying filters. Okay, so what are filters? So say again, taking example of movie websites. So you can filter the movies based on year, or based on genre, or based on ratings, or many other such filters, right? So filters are basically how you're going to list your items, in this case movies. Okay, so the question is, after applying the filter, if they change the URL, so that if the user copies the URL and send it to a friend, then the friend should see the data with the filter applied. Okay, in other words, when the page is refreshed, the filter should not be removed. Okay, so let me give you show you the application first. So this is our application. Okay, so it's running a port here. You can see there's no routes right now. Basic React pagination application. You'll see at the bottom we have paginations. At the top, these are your filters. Okay, action, horror, adventure, or sci-fi. And then here you can see we have 5 records. So right now I'm paginating based on 5 records in a particular page. Okay, so if I will have more than 5 records, then you will see this pagination. Okay, otherwise you won't see the pagination. And when you click on next and all, you can keep on going to next and next page. Okay, so in this session, we won't be discussing about pagination. We will mainly be working on these filters and how we can implement these filters, so that if someone has to share this particular URL to a friend, or say bookmark only this page, okay, after applying a filter, and if he comes back to this URL, or his friends is using this URL, he would also see the same screen. What it means, he would also be able to see filter applied. Okay, so now you see, as soon as I clicked on action, my URL changed, right? And if I happen to share this URL with a friend of mine, okay, say like this, a friend of mine, he should also be able to see, okay, the application with action filter applied. Okay, so let's see. So you can see all of by default action is applied. Okay, so this is what we're going to discuss here. You can keep on changing the filters here. Okay, so that's the basic application. There are a couple of more points here which I'll come back to, but let's start with the code for this. Okay, yeah, so this is our code here. Let me show you which file is where first, and then we're gonna dive deeper. Again, pointing out here, we will not be discussing about pagination. We'll be discussing about how to capture that filter in a way that if the URL is shared, that filter is still applied. Okay, so components folder, as the name suggests, all my components are gonna be in this particular folder. Mock, again, all the mock files, which means currently to show you this solution, I am not connecting with the backend or DB. Okay, so instead of getting data from the DB, I'm gonna be getting the data from this JSON files. Okay, and then pages are basically the page. Okay, so consider this, that each and every route that you have, each and every route is going to have a corresponding page. Okay, so a normal portfolio application would have, say, home, about, and contacts. So those are your pages. Okay, now each and every page will be built up by components, right? One page will have say 6 or 7 components. We will going to compose them together to create the whole page. Okay, so that's where the pages comes into picture. Then utils is basically a folder where all the utility methods, okay, basically some common functionalities which will be required by our React applications, React components. Okay, so this utils is going to be complete JavaScript. This is not going to be JSX. This is not going to be React. This is going to be pure JavaScript. Okay. Yeah, so I think that's there. Let's start with app.js. Very simple setup here. I have router set up only for home. Okay, because I'm just targeting the use case here. So I have home here. That's the only route. Then let's go to the home component. This is my home component. This is where all the logic is. I'll dive deeper into that, but let's see the JSX. So JSX, you can see I'm composing it, my home page, with the help of multiple components. Okay, so let me show you the UI first. So UI, you can see at the top we have a title, then we have a list of actions, filters, then we have our movies. Okay, and then at the bottom we have the pagination. Okay, so that is how I've created it. So title is a React component where I'm passing what title I have to show. Then for filters, I have another component. The same for item list that you saw, the movie list. I have item list, and then at the bottom we have pagination. So for that we have pagination. Okay. Now to show you all those components one by one, let me go start with title. Title is nothing much, just div with h1 tag. Whatever title I'm going to pass, that is what I'm going to render. Okay, so nothing complicated here. Item list, again, the same thing. I'm going to pass a list. Okay, it will just iterate over it and just show it. That's all. Okay. After that, pagination, again, we are not going to dive deeper. It's a common logic, basically. So you'll pass a bunch of records. Okay, and initially you're going to decide how many pages you're going to show, what is going to be your initial page. So in many cases, you would have seen it would start with 0. So that's where you do it. Page size, as you can see, I've done as 5. So this is where you'll configure how many records you're going to show in a particular page, right? So yeah, that's about pagination. Then what else is left? Title gone, item list, yes. So only thing left here is filters. Okay, so let's come back here to home first. Okay, so you can see in to filters, we are passing these 3 props, right? We have filters. Okay, what all filter options user will have. Then active filter. Okay, why I'm passing this active filter? Because whichever filter is active, I want to add some classes and basically let the user know which filter is active. Okay, so that's active filter. And then on filter change. What is that method? Whenever I click on any of this filter, then that method will be called. Okay, and then I can go ahead and change the active filter. Okay, and this style will get applied then. Okay, so that's about it. Okay, now let's start from the top here. So you can see we have 3 states here. Okay, one is example item. So this is basically the whole records in the terms that the whole movie list basically. Okay, so in the mock, you can see we have 2 JSON file. Movies mock is my main data. Okay, the movies, and then movie genres is just this much. Okay, what all different genres are there. I'm going to use this only as filters. Okay, now let's talk about movies mock first. You don't need to go inside each and every values here. In our case, we are just working with the title. Title is what I'm showing in the UI, and ID is what I'm using as keys. Okay, currently I'm using genre only as a filter, but you can see we already have details for years, so you can use that as well. If you come down, then we have average rating. You can use that as well. Then release date, you can use as that well as well. Okay, so I'm going to need to show you how I'm implementing it with genre, and you can reuse the same logic for all the other filters as well. Okay, so that's it about the mock data. So I'm importing both of them to my file here. Okay. And these are my states. So example list is where all the movie details that I'm getting, I'm going to pass it here. Okay. Page of item, this is basically how much item is I'm showing in the UI paginated. Okay, so in example items I can have say 24 or 100 records, but in page of items I would have only 5. Why? Because in my pagination I have configured that in a particular page I'm going to show maximum 5 records only. Active filter is again which filter is active. It's just that. Okay, now let's come to use effects now. Okay, so here you can see both my use effects have a dependency. Okay, so let's start with this location first. Okay, whenever my location is going to change, which means the URL in the browser is going to change, this URL. Okay, whenever that is going to change, then this use effect will get triggered. Now, what will this use effect will do? This use effect will call this method get search params and pass these two parameters. Okay, what is this method? Let's go there. So this method is very simple. I'm using a URL search params. This is a web API. Okay, there you can pass the search query. What is search query? Search query is something like this. Okay, and then you can have say name is equal to something, and then say age is equal to something like that. Okay, so this whole thing, anything after this question mark is your search query. Okay, so that is what I'm passing here, and then param. Okay, what is param? So I have two values here, right? I have name and I have age. Which one of these I want back? Okay, so that is what I'm going to pass in param. So this is what this function is basically doing. Why I've created this method only for this one line? Because right now we are running our code in browser. Okay, say in future we have to migrate our code base to any other platform. Any other platform means say if I have to run my code on say Electron. Okay, or if I have to run this code itself in backend say. Okay, so in those scenarios URL search params won't be present because this is a web API, which means that this API will only be present if you are going to run this code on a browser. Okay, so Chrome or Mozilla or Firefox, those things. Okay, so that is why I have written this code here, that if it happens that I have to change the platform, then this is where I will have to just go ahead and change my logic, and all the components inside will just stay the same. Otherwise, if I would have used this line inside my components, then each and everywhere I have to go ahead and change it if I am changing my platform. Okay, so that's just basic one idea. Okay, so this is basically just going to return. So say if this is my query params, so it's going to return me what? So if, say if I pass search query is this, okay, and params I passed as name, okay, so my return value would be SP. Okay, the same way, say if I am this is my search query, and if I pass age as my second parameter, which is param here, then the return value would be 10. Okay, so that's the idea here. So that's your search get search param. Why I'm using this? Because you can see here we have this query, right? This is not going to be there initially. Okay, so initially when my component will run, okay, this use effect will run, this method will run. Okay, at that time, this method is not going to find anything, right? So this search filter value would be nothing then. Okay, so that is why I'm going ahead and doing set active filter. If set active filter is present, convert that to lowercase and change my state. Otherwise, just change the state to an empty string. Okay, which means that there are no active filters. User has not applied any filters. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now, in here you can see it's like a chain. Okay, as whenever the location is changing, which means the URL of the browser is changing, I am going ahead and updating the state of active filter. As soon as this active filter state is changed, then this use effect will get fired, right? And then this whole logic will go ahead and run. Okay, now what's happening here? The same thing, I'm going ahead and checking what is my active filter here again. Okay, which filter has been selected. Then filtered movies. Okay, I need, if from here I'm checking if any filter is present or not. If filter has some filter is active or it's been selected, based on that filter I have to uh, paginate again, right? So I'm checking what is the from the URL. I'm trying to get what is the selected filter. Okay, movies mock. This is basically the mock, the whole movies mock JSON file. Okay, then I'm checking if selected filter is there, right? If it is there, then I'm gonna come inside and filter. Okay, I'm iterating over each and every record and checking against my genres. Okay, if you can see in the mock here, genres itself is a array, right? So in the UI, say in this case, we have action, adventure, and sci-fi, right? So in the UI, you can say I have action, horror, adventure, sci-fi. If any one of these three, action, adventure, or sci-fi is selected, then this movie is eligible, right? So for that case, I am filtering it. Okay, so I'm first going over the movie dot genres. So I'm going over this list. Okay, and converting that to lowercase first. Okay, why I'm doing that, I'll tell you later. Okay, so I'm converting that to lowercase, all of them, then checking if this includes the selected filter. Okay, this selected filter is coming from URL, right? And why it is coming from URL? Because I'm updating it there. Okay, I'm gonna come to that point as well. So genres dot includes, if any of these includes the selected filter, the user that has selected, then this is eligible. Then I'm going to go ahead and return. Okay, and since it is filter, if you return anything which is true, then the item is going to get passed in the new array. Okay, and this is what in turn I'm going ahead and setting the example of. Okay, and this is the example which is basically showing the whole items in the UI. Okay, so this is basically how my pagination and as well as my filtering is happening. Okay, so that's simple as that. Okay, now coming to the point where if you want to share the applied filter to your friend, how that is going to happen. The whole trick is basically in this URL, right? If you're going to share anything to your friend, you're basically going to share this URL. So why not capture the selected filter of the user in the URL itself? Okay, that way if he's sharing it to anyone, okay, and if user comes back from the URL itself, I would know that which filter was active. Okay, programmatically I would go ahead and apply that, and all my code will run, and based on that I'm going to show the movies, right? Now how that is happening. Okay, so you'd see here on filter change, if you remember, we went through this, we are passing this method. Okay, now let's go inside this filters method, sorry, component. Now here, this is also nothing much, this is really static. Okay, what it is doing is filters, it is iterating over all of that and showing it to our UI. Okay, that's one thing. Okay, what active filter is doing, I'm using this to add class active or not, nothing. Okay, based on that you are seeing the selected blue button there. Okay, and whenever user clicks on it, I'm calling this method on filter change. Okay, now this is again a method which is passed down from the parent. Okay, so a method is passed down from the parent here. So that's all about filter, there's nothing much happening here. Okay, let's come back to home now. So here you can see, as soon as I will click here in any of these filters, right now nothing is there in the URL, you can see, right? As soon as I click here, you would see that the URL here will change. Okay, I will, whatever users have selected the filter, I will copy that details and add it to my URL. So user selected action, so you can see I went ahead and added filter is equal to action. The same with horror, the same with adventure, same with sci-fi. Okay, so let's see how this is happening. Okay, so this method is getting triggered whenever I'm clicking. Okay, let's go to that method. This is where the main thing is happening, right? So filter is equal to empty. Now what is this? So if you go back to this filters item, you can see whenever I'm clicking it, I'm passing the filter back. Okay. So while iterating, I'm getting this filter. Okay. So what is filters here basically? So I'm getting an array here of say action. Okay. And then, sorry, horror. Okay. The same way, say sci-fi, right? All of these is what I'm getting, right? And then here at this point, what is filter? Filter is basically either action, right? It is either action or say a horror, right? I think you got my point, right? So that is filter, right? So this is one value that I'm pushing out to my parent component so that parent would know that which filter user has selected. Okay. So that was the idea. Save this. Let's come to home. So now you know what is this filter, right? This method will get called whenever user clicks on any of the filter. And this filter is that value. Okay. What user has clicked. Okay. So from UI perspective, if I click on action, then that filter would be action. If I click on adventure, then that filter would be adventure. Okay. So now what is this location? You might know this is a React hooks. This location will basically help me to get this URL's information. Okay, whatever is happening in this URL, that is going to be part of this location as an object. Okay, so from this object, I'm going to get path name and search. So what would be the path name? Path name would be say the route complete, right? Domain and then route. So it would be say, if it is a movies website, say netflix.com / a movie name, say Avengers. Okay, so that would be the path name, complete path. Search would be anything from here till whatever I showed you in the utils, right? This is the example of a search part. Okay, everything else, everything that comes before this is going to be a path. Sorry, path name. Okay. Now I'm passing this path search information here and getting this search params. Okay. Now here you see the difference. In here, I was passing the location.search and the filter as well. Here I'm just passing that search directly, but I'm not passing the filter. Okay. Because I'm not trying to extract any information. This is where I'm going to change the information, right? What I mean by that, right now you see there's nothing here. Okay. When I click on any of these filters, I need to update the same value in my URL, right? So I'm not reading anything. This is where I'm updating something. Okay. So I don't need to do .get in this method, right? I don't need this method because here I'm doing get. Okay. So new search URL search params and search. Again, this is where also you can create a function out of this, the way I have created for this search params for get. Okay. So that is how you can extract this away also. And then in future, if some changes happen, you won't have to go ahead and make any changes in your component. Okay. So this will give me all the search params. So what would be the search params? So taking the same example here. Okay, when you pass this thing, sorry. Okay, so if this is the search that you would pass, then the search params would be an object where it would be like, say, name would become SP, and then it would be age as 10. Okay, so that is what this will get back. Okay, then filter dot lowercase. Okay, so let me tell you why I'm changing each and everything to lowercase. Okay, now when you're creating an application, you should write the code so that it can handle all the scenarios, right? So I don't know in what form the information I'm gonna get, right? What I mean by that, this API, uh, forget about API for now. Say this genres itself, which I'm using for filters. Okay, I'm not going to be very sure that how I'm going to get this information. Will it be capital? Will it be all caps? Or will it be camel case? Will it be lowercase or what? Okay, it can change. So what I can do best in my code is I don't care in what form it's going to come to me. I will change each one of them to lowercase. Okay. The same is going to be true here. Okay. That it might happen that someone can go here and directly type the whole thing, right? Filter is equal to capital action. Okay. Again, I cannot stop the user from doing this, right? So for such scenarios, what I've done, whenever I'm going to be talking about this filter, I'm going to change that to lowercase. Okay. So that doesn't matter how the values are coming, I will always be consistent with the lowercase values for comparison. Okay. So that is why I'm doing this lowercase. Now here I'm checking that the new filter value that I'm getting, okay, if it is equal to active filter. Why? Because I would not want to update my state again and again if the user is clicking the action again and again, right? Because if say user has already selected action, I've already applied that, right? What I can do, if user clicks on this action again, I can unselect that. Okay, means I would remove the filter. So you see, when I click action, then all the movies which have the genres as action will be listed. And now you see the pagination change because now I have only less records compared to initial. And the URL also got changed. Okay. And when I click on action back, the URL again gets updated. It removes the filter and all the pagination came back. That means now I'm showing all the movies. Okay. So that's why what I'm checking here, filter is not equal to active filter, which means there is a change. Okay, this filter, the user that has clicked the next filter is different than what was what was already there, which means user had this action already. Now he has went ahead and clicked on either horror or adventure or sci-fi. Okay, that is my if case. And if user has clicked on the same filter again, that is my else case. Okay. So in my if case, since user has selected a new filter, I would go ahead and update my active filter. And in the search params, I would go ahead and set filter as the new value. Okay. This is where I'm going to change my URL, which you are seeing. Okay. In else case, I'm doing the other way around. If user is selecting the same filter again, I'm removing the filter. Okay. So I'm doing the active filter as none and then search params dot delete. And now I'm deleting that search params. Okay. Finally, I'm using the history hook of React hooks to update my URL. This is where my browser's URL is changing. Okay. This is where I was collecting the information and all. This is where I'm going to finally push that change and update the browser's history so that that URL change will happen. So path name will remain the same. I haven't done anything changed to that, but search would update. Okay, it will either update with the new filter or it will delete the filter which was already applied. Okay, so I hope you got what is happening here step by step. Okay, let me explain again. So coming here, this is going to be the fresh application. No filters are applied. We have a pagination. Okay, you can click and go to each and every page. Now, when you click on action, since I have to preserve that action filters value so that I can share that URL to any of my friend, I am going to update my URL. Okay, you can see I updated my URL with a search query. Okay, now user can copy this and share it to any of its friends, because if he comes back with this URL in my application, I am gonna use this value itself to apply it. Where that is happening? That is happening in my use effects. Okay, this thing. So you can see when the location will change. So very first time also when this use effect will run, it will grab this filter search from the URL and I will go ahead and apply this filter. Okay, I will set the state as active filter. As soon as I do that, now that I have my filter as action, then this active filter use effect will get triggered. Here again, I'm just going ahead, just for precaution, going ahead and checking the values back again, taking the selected filter and going ahead and applying that to my payload that I have or the mock data that I have. Okay, so if selected filter is there, iterate over the whole filtered, the whole movies, check in the genres okay, if that filter exists or not. If it exists, then return true because we are using filter. This will build up my filter movies again, okay, with all the movies that have that selected genres. And that is what I'm going to set as my selected movies list, okay, which would be this example items. And this is the example item which I'm passing to my pagination, and pagination would know, okay, what is details that I have to show. And this item list is page of items. So this is where it's going to go ahead and get updated. Okay. So I hope that was clear. The main thing that you need to focus is this particular method and the concept that since we are sharing, we need to store that information in the URL, because that is how user is going to share. Okay, we cannot store it in our sessions. We cannot store it in our Redux, because you don't know where the user is going to load your application. Okay, if it is going to be another browser, your session won't exist. If it is going to be another computer, or basically your JavaScript won't exist if user is going to refresh the page itself. Okay, so in this scenario, the best case would be that you store that information in your URL itself. Okay, when your component loads, okay, use this use effect to capture that information in your component. Okay, and then after capturing that information in your component, go ahead and do the filter logic, which I think you'd know. Okay, so that was the whole concept here. Okay, let me go through a couple of points here, okay, which you should keep in mind also. So now that you see these filters and everything I have already explained, let's take some scenarios now. Okay, let's take this scenario now. Okay, now you can see we have two search. Okay, we have a filter as action and then name as SP as well. Okay, so when you are updating your search query, you need to be sure, or you need to be paying attention that you're not going to remove the other details from your URL, right? If you're updating the filter, you should go ahead and do the operations only on the filter side. Okay, if you have to change that, okay, it should change only the filter. If you have to remove that, it should remove only the filter part. It should not affect anything else. Okay, to do that only, we have used this URL search params. Okay, this is a web API which has each and everything already inbuilt. Okay, methods. Set method will go ahead and set this value. Okay, basically if this value already exists, okay, in this search query, if filter is already there, it will go ahead and update that. It's not going to add a new filter. Okay, it won't be like we already have name, then it will go ahead and update the name's value. Okay, it's not going to be like we have name and SP here, then age, and then after this again we're going to have name. Okay, that won't happen. So that is why we are using dot set. Okay, similarly we are using dot delete. It will go ahead and check all the this filter keyword in the URL and remove that search param itself from the URL. Okay, which you saw here, right? I'm adding filter, it got added here. I'm clicking here, it's going to remove it. Okay, so that is what is happening here. So this is the main method where you need to focus. Make all your changes using this URL search params and go ahead and change your history using React hooks use history. Okay, so I hope this was clear. Okay,